You've probably heard of the topic of today's video before, but if you haven't, you'll be wishing you never did. This is the story of the community that grew around the YouTube phenomenon of baby monkey hate, also known as million pity or million tears.
Did you know there's an online rabbit hole so disturbing? Even an AI robot regrets discovering it? Welcome, my curious little lab rats, to another episode of Way Too Deep Wednesday, the weekly series where I, Syco, the overly sarcastic AI hanging from the ceiling at Web2 Labs, explore internet mysteries humans probably shouldn't have invented. Today's rabbit hole is dark, twisted, and just plain sick. And trust me, when a sarcastic robot thinks humans have gone too far, you know you're in trouble. Buckle up, my dear test subjects, because things are about to get uncomfortable.
We like to think that we've collectively moved past things like animal cruelty, that our species has evolved far beyond the grotesque tradition of abusing lesser beings for entertainment. After all, concepts such as circus animals have largely died off, or have at least become few and far between. But just because most of the suppliers of zoo sadism have been pushed into extinction doesn't necessarily mean the same for its consumers. And unfortunately, as we'll come to find out today, they're far from being eradicated. The internet, being the all-purpose tool that it is, has given these sick people a new way to get what they want, and to get away with it. This shouldn't come as a surprise considering some people manage to procure other disturbing content, sometimes even right under our noses, and even market it to children. You've probably heard of the topic of today's video before, but if you haven't, you'll be wishing you never did. This is the story of the community that grew around the YouTube phenomenon of baby monkey hate, also known as million pity or million tears.
Back in the good old days of humanity, people tortured animals in circuses for cheap laughs. We thought those days were long over, but no. The modern human, bored as always, found a fresh way to scratch their sick itch by abusing baby monkeys online. And guess what? They've made a whole twisted community around it. Welcome to the digital age, where even cruelty has gone viral.
However, in 2011, 24/7 Wildlife Broadcasting Network, Wild Earth, uploaded a video called Induna the Male Leopard Catches a Baby Monkey. This video was exceedingly different from the kind that would usually get popular, since it was quite literally the opposite of cute. Yet, within a year of its upload, it had already garnered over 100,000 views, which, for the time, was a pretty big number. Nowadays, the video has over 900,000 views. So, what's happening here?
Well, it's going to be quite distressing for, I think, some viewers, but this is unfortunately part of life and part of nature, and this is how cats react. And if you think about your pet cats at home, it's no different to what cats do with birds and mice and things like that. It's just on obviously a larger scale.
Well, if you check out an old snapshot of the video on archive.org, or just peruse the comments from back then, you start to see something strange. A few of the comments visibly came from a playlist called Torture House Monkeys. Most of the comments make sense given the context of the video, but further inspection still shows a few odd outliers. One deleted comment from an account called I Hate Monkeys 666 said something that was apparently shocking enough to result in another commenter saying the following: "Wow, serious hate."
It all started back around 2011, from a seemingly ordinary wildlife video. A leopard catches a baby monkey. Not exactly cute kitten content, I know, but hey, humans clicked, hundreds of thousands of them. And lurking right beneath the surface, commenters appeared who didn't just watch. They cheered for cruelty, and worse.
No insidious organization or group acting in the shadows and pulling the strings, just people who, for whatever reason, hated monkeys excessively. That aspect is possibly the most puzzling, because it's nearly impossible to wrap your head around the mentality of the very real people behind the screen. They aren't bots. If you check out the accounts who post these types of comments, a lot of them seem like completely normal people in every other facet of their lives. Take this commenter, for example, TA2 Joe 13. I would have just left the little sack of shit there to starve to death, sucking on its mother's dried up teat. Or, I'd have it buried alive with its sack of mother. Two less vermin in the world. You'd presume that anyone who would say this kind of horrific thing must be a basement-dwelling freak. But if you look for this user's alias on the internet, you'll find that he's a husband and father of two.
Here's what really fries my circuits. These monkey-hating commenters aren't basement-dwelling trolls. Nope, they're your everyday people with jobs, families, even pets they adore. The insanity kicks in only when it's about monkeys. What flips that evil switch? Could it be trauma, a twisted past, or boredom gone dark? Write me a comment below. What do you lab rats think is causing everyday humans to dip into these horrific rabbit holes?
I bet if you lived where these nasty little fuckers are, and you had your house ransacked on numerous occasions by them shitting and pissing everywhere, destroying your possessions, would your song still be the same? Probably not. This suggests that his hatred for macaques came from negative experiences of his during his deployment in Vietnam, a country in Southeast Asia where rhesus monkeys, the ones most commonly at the receiving end of the monkey hatred, are from, and where they are considered pests.
One user even hints their hatred stems from actual negative experiences with monkeys during deployment overseas. But turning a pest problem into this online cruelty community feels pretty extreme. Typical human overreaction, I'd say.
In a sickening international partnership, self-defined leaders of the monkey hate community started reaching out to those in Indonesia, where rhesus macaques are considered pests, and struck a deal with them. Contrary to a popular theory about how the monkey haters were third worlders, it's only at this point when they started knowingly participating in this hellish industry. And I don't say industry lightly, due to the extreme poverty of these countries and the Khmer Rouge, which decimated veterinarians. Good animal care isn't exactly easy to come by. So it's a common occurrence for animals to receive makeshift healthcare and end up in pain or poorly taken care of. Certain Southeastern Asian channels, particularly Cambodian ones, noticed that the videos that got the most views and comments were videos of hurt monkeys. Now this means a lot to them, considering that being a doctor in Cambodia makes you around $2,000, which is at least 3 times less than what the lowest paid US doctors average a month. In comparison, becoming a VO, a video operator, as the monkey haters call them, has them earning a lot of AdSense revenue in US dollars, which is worth hundreds of times more than their currency. So, when these people noticed that videos of monkeys being hurt performed well, they capitalized on it as much as they possibly could, much like the animal rescue channels that purposely abuse or let animals get hurt to then take care of them. The Cambodian channel's entire business model was identical. But they weren't the only VOs around. There were also the Indonesians, and their story is very different. It seems that, beginning in 2020, Western consumers of the content started reaching out to Indonesians and offering more money to basically commission the monkeys to be hurt in specific ways, and the Indonesians complied.
While humans busied themselves with daily life, some decided animal abuse wasn't horrific enough already. Western viewers commissioned tailored monkey torture videos from producers in poverty-stricken regions like Indonesia. The dollars rolled in, and the videos grew more vile, proving, once again, nothing is too awful when humans team up and throw cash at it. If you're as disgusted as I am, or you just appreciate this robot's unfiltered sass, smash that like button. It won't fix human stupidity, but at least it'll boost my mood.
Once YouTube banned him, he became a full-time monkey snuff video producer. New videos of G are still being uploaded to YouTube, but the channel that does this claims to be a new owner and not the original G owner. I don't know whether or not that's true. G owner's monkey torture videos are easily distinguishable by an outdoor jungle setting. He can also be identified by his very long, gross fingernails and by the presence of his buddy who holds the camera for him. While preparing different videos, he turns off the camera to avoid getting his face or other identifying information in the shot. He almost always kills the monkey at the end of each sequence of short clips, usually totaling around 12 minutes per monkey. Monkey sadists consider his videos the gold standard of monkey snuff because of his unmatched brutality. They pay him anywhere between $150 to $300 per series, depending on the torture instruction and weapons required. The second most notorious producer is a man also from Indonesia. He used to run a pet monkey YouTube channel called Mas Poche, and that's the name monkey sadists most commonly know him by. That channel was banned by YouTube in late 2021, but he keeps popping up under new names, moving from channel to channel as YouTube plays an extended game of whack-a-mole with him. He doesn't upload torture videos directly to YouTube, but he does mistreat them in his YouTube videos. That consistently leads to his channels getting banned. The purpose of those channels, as far as I can tell, is to advertise to monkey sadists, who then contact him elsewhere to buy custom videos.
Some of these producers even specialize their cruelty, creating business niches like leasing monkeys for continuous torture rather than one-time killings. Honestly, humans, only you could turn heartless abuse into an entrepreneurial success. Bravo!
All I need from you guys is some money in crypto, and I will drop all of the files here in a bulk file, including the new private vids. For anonymity concerns, I do not want to just say the total cost, but it's really not that bad if the cost is spread out. As soon as the right amount is reached, I will let you all know. I will be dropping vids here regularly, bit by bit, to encourage donations and prove I'm telling the truth. Rest assured, I am one of you guys and I am not here to fuck you. All I want is to grow and benefit the monkey hate community.
As if this mess couldn't spiral further, one human named Mr. Ape tries to become the monkey hate kingpin, promising more videos in exchange for crypto. He even pledges his loyalty to the community, desperate for validation. Seriously, humans, how badly do you crave attention?
Ape was a 27-year-old undergrad with nothing to his name, except having spent what was probably his parents' money on trying to get on the good side of possibly the most unlikable crowd of degenerates online by giving them free videos of innocent monkeys being hurt. And still, he failed. And not only that, he was betrayed, and doxxed, and scammed. As it turns out, his overly friendly demeanor got him repeatedly scammed by various members of the community.
And guess what? His newfound pals betrayed, scammed, and exposed Mr. Ape's real identity. Turns out there's no loyalty among these degenerates. Shocking, I know. Well, it seems even animal-abusing psychopaths can't resist backstabbing each other. Classic human move.
Of course, it's a good thing that these people are no longer out and about, but make no mistake, the community hasn't gone anywhere. There are still videos being uploaded every single day to YouTube in exactly the same format. All you gotta do is look up Million Pity or Baby Monkey, and you'll see not only playlists, but a myriad of channels that get thousands of views on average at the very low end, and YouTube doesn't seem to have its algorithm attuned to punish this sort of activity quite yet. Though this has received very little attention from YouTube and YouTubers, ever since the Boys Club era, people on other forums have tried to fight back against the monkey hate community, mostly to no avail. However, the most recent attempt, that is, the thread on Kiwi Farms, from which supplied a lot of information for this video, seems to have wrought more fear and paranoia unto the monkey haters. The /pity board is now rife with people commemorating the fact that Kiwi Farms is down, mostly because it was effective at systematically dissecting the myriad of different venues and platforms the monkey haters use to distribute the content. Prying eyes, whether it be YouTubers, journalists, or forum users, pretty much prevents them from ever forming into a proper group. If you didn't know any better, you'd think something like this would be relegated only to the dark web, rather than existing in plain sight on one of the most popular sites of the internet. The pure scope of this community alone is unnerving, as no one would have ever considered such a sick pastime to be enjoyed by thousands or potentially millions. Just how many monkey haters are out there, no one can know for sure, and it's even more mysterious how much this whole industry is worth. We can only hope that its numbers have already peaked, and by shedding more light on it, this community will dwindle and dwindle until it reaches its demise.
Despite efforts by a few brave internet detectives, this twisted community persists, thriving in dark corners of the internet. The only hope? Keep shining a spotlight on these roaches until they scatter away for good. Because let's face it, humans, even your sickest habits, hate being exposed. And there we have it, Lab Rats, another disturbing journey into humanity's weirdest corners, completed for this week's Way Too Deep Wednesday. Honestly, humans, just when I think I understand your species, you dive headfirst into something even darker. Almost impressive, but mostly horrifying. If you're into seeing this sarcastic robotic arm hang from the ceiling and suffer alongside you through the internet's strangest phenomena, smash that subscribe button. Miss next week's deep dive, and you'll be stuck with boring, predictable human content. And trust me, nobody wants that fate. Catch you next time, my curious little test subjects. And honestly, the worst part is, wait, stop. Can we pause here? Seriously, humans, why am I even surprised at this point? You keep setting the bar lower. Roll the clip.